Hello, welcome to Strong and Slow Flow Yoga. And today we're going to be working up into some splits. So if you just heard that word, be like, I can't do that. I promise you there will be an option for you that you can do. And our intention today is going to be all about self-forgiveness. So it's an important part of personal healing. And I just think it's really important, especially this time of year when emotions and family and different things can be all over the place. So that will be our intention today. Blocks you may want for your splits, as well as some of the flow work that we're going to do. And we will use a strap at the end as well. You may want some knee cushion today or a hip cushion. I'm going to use a folded blanket, but you can feel free to use whatever it is you have and that you want. So let's start here, just coming to a nice, comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you. And eyes can be closed or open with the gaze cast down a few feet in front of you. Good. And I've got my hands kind of downward just for a little bit more grounding energy, but you can certainly have them up to invite a little bit more energy if that's what you need. And take a moment and check in with your posture. So as you're sitting tall in whatever way that you need to sit, could you envision growing taller from the top of the head down to the tailbone, so from tail to crown? And could you envision your ears, shoulders, and hips to be in a little bit more alignment, but keeping the natural curvature of the spine? And trying to support your back with a strong front. So we're going to zip up from pubic bone to behind the navel, belly button into the spine. And just breathe and notice. Notice if there's anywhere you're holding tension that maybe you could soften, maybe through the eyes and around the forehead, the jaw, the shoulders, the hips. And bringing that awareness to the breath. As you inhale through the nose, can you find some expansion in that rib cage? And slowly release. Do that one more time. Inhale through the nose and expand. And slowly release. Just take a couple rounds here of some box breathing, so not the full set. You can bring in the Ujjayi pranayama here if you've got that in your practice. Big exhale to prepare. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Return to normal breath. Fingertips to the side. Let's reach up, taking the palms together, bringing the hands to heart center. Good. So I told you the intention that I gave you today is around self-forgiveness, but you can always set your own intention here for what you need. And remembering that forgiving is not the same thing as forgetting. Forgiving is not the same thing as forgetting. But we can't move forward in healing if we don't forgive. And that starts with forgiving ourselves. And then from here, we'll take those arms up and coming all the way back down. We're going to go right into a child's pose here. So if you need to bring in that knee cushion for yourself, go ahead and do so. And if you're feeling really tight in the knees or hips already from here, then just take a moment and just move forward and back here. Just get a little bit of movement in those hips and knees if you need to. And then when you're ready, taking the knees together as wide as the mat or somewhere in between, finding your child's pose. You can take your arms long in front of you for extended child's pose, or taking the hands back by the ankles, letting the shoulders release for a traditional child's pose. So find yours. Good. Breathing and expanding. Zipping up from the pubic bone behind the navel. Again, nice strong front. Relax through the face. And then once you're ready, good. I'm going to take my hands just a little bit closer to my shoulders, and I'm going to press up. And as I walk my hands over to the right here, the first thing I'm going to think about with regards to self-forgiveness is I am worthy of forgiveness. I am worthy of forgiveness. So we're going to walk the left fingertips forward, lifting the hips, pressing into the right hand, sinking towards the left. So just kind of repeat these affirmations to yourself here. I am worthy of forgiveness. And then once you're ready, we'll come up. We're going to walk it back to center, half or full child's pose here to reset. And then once ready, good, we'll come up just a little bit. We'll walk those hands over to the left. Walk the right fingertips forward. Good. Sink the hips towards the right, press to the left hand. And then when you're ready, good. We'll walk that back towards center. Half or full child's pose. And then once you're ready, good. Trying to move more from the lower body than you are from the upper body. Good. We're going to come up from there. Good. And we'll just take a few short cat towels here. So I'm really going to spread the fingers wide. I'm protracted. Good. Let's take a big inhale, finding cow pose. Exhale, rounding through cat. Good. And then you can stay with this motion with the breath, or you can try to turn it into a little bit of a body wave. I'm going to come up here and just kind of roll that back and rolling into that cat pose and rolling. Good. And I'm pressing away from my arms here, taking that firmness. You want to stop when you come forward, shoulders over the wrists, not forward. And really keep that belly button in. So you're really activating and getting into that core when you do. Good. And then from here, just finish up the last round that you're on, finding your neutral table. We're going to take this into a down dog now. So taller people, take a half a hand's width forward or a full hand's width forward. Shorter people can stay. I'm going to spread the fingers nice and wide, rooting through the knuckles of the pinky, pointer, and thumb. I'm going to tuck my toes and shift back. I'm going to press in and forward into my mat. Shoulders are away from the ears. I'm going to let that pressure assist me in lifting my knees and hips. I'll check in with good down dog form. Shoulders are away from the ears. From the shoulder, I'm turning the elbows towards the ceiling. So I'm not turning my hands inward. This is all rotation from the shoulder. Head and neck are free. Gazes to the toes. I'm pressing into my big toe and pinky toe mounds. Heels may or may not touch the floor. And I'm breathing and I'm zipped up to that front body. From here, I'm just going to lift the heels and lower. Good. And then we'll go into walking the dog, bending one knee and lengthening the other leg. And as I do this, I want to really press into the big toe and pinky toe mounds. So I'm pressing into the feet. Good. Now from here, let the left knee bend. Pressing through that right side. Again, check the shoulders. I was getting a little creepy there with mine, so shoulders are away from the ears. You're protracted here. So you're pushing away. Good. And then we'll switch sides. I bend to the right knee. Good. Lengthening and stretching that left side. Lifting both heels and lowering down. Good. Inhale, look forward, bend the knee. Pushing with the feet. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Let the knees bend. Let the chest touch the thigh. Let the head and neck be free. Now, some of you are going to feel great kind of having this angle here. Others are going to opt to grab opposite elbows here to provide just a little bit more traction down the spine. Now, could you press in the big toe and pinky toe mounds, lifting up the toes? That should force some of you to get into the heels and the glutes just a little bit more. And can you keep that engagement as you lower the toes? If you took the elbows, we'll release. Pressing through the feet and the legs, lift and lengthen halfway, long back. Hands to floor, shins, blocks or thighs. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow, releasing the head and the neck. Pressing through the feet and the legs. The legs take the load, not the back. As you come up, exhale, hands to heart center. Finding the breath, your mountain, and self-forgiveness. Good. We're going to take a temple mudra here, just like this. We're going to reach up, try to squeeze the ears with the arms. Feet are going to be about hip width apart here. Zip up that front body. Could you keep the shoulders and the hips in a little bit better alignment as you go side to side? So as you do that, be mindful. You want to look more like this, keeping it in the torso versus taking the hips out side to side. That's not what we're doing. We're staying here just like this. Good. And then coming back to center. Good. So we're going to shift our weight into the left foot. We're going to pick up the right foot. We're not going to pick it up very high. We're just going to kind of just take that little balance here. And right foot will come down. Good. Reset at center. Weight shift into the right side. Pick up the left foot. Again, keep it low for right now. We're going to progress this as we move on. And then left foot will come down. Reset center. Inhale, exhale, and we'll bend and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bend and we'll bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs, we'll rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale and we'll lift. Exhale, bend and bow. Letting the head and neck be free. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bend and we'll bow. Planting the hands. Step or hop back to plank. You choose. Take or skip a flow. Being mindful, we don't need to come all the way low in the chaturanga. All the way low means all the way to the floor. Reconnecting. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Pushing with the feet. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, bend and bow. Take the pressure out of the back. From the feet and the legs, long back as you come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. And we'll do that one more time. Inhale and we'll reach. Exhale, bend and bow. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale and we'll bend and we'll bow, letting head and neck release. Good. Planting the hands. Step or hop back to plank. You choose take or skip a flow. No, I'm going to skip this one. Got cold quick and I've got a cranky shoulder this morning, so I'm not going to push it. And from that downward facing dog, once you're ready, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, pushing with the feet and the legs. So walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Good. Hands to blocks, floor, shins, or thighs, pressing through the feet and the legs. Lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, bend, and we'll bow. Letting head and neck be free. Pressing through the feet and the legs. We'll come all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Finding the breath, finding mountain, and intention. All right, so one more time. For this one, you can take your hands and arms anywhere that feels good to you for balance. You can be here, 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 wherever it is you need to be. I'm just going to come right here. I'm going to shift my weight into my left foot. I'm going to pick up the right foot. Now you can keep this low like we did it before, or you can take it up a little bit higher, but not too high. Once you've lifted it up, can you even out the hips? Because a lot of people get the hip height here. Good. Even that out. Good. Options. You can step the whole foot down on the floor and then step back with the right leg for a low lunge, or you can take a little hinge. Good. Stepping it back there, hands come to the floor, and then letting that knee come down to the floor. Good. So I'm going to lengthen here. Good. So check yourself so you don't wreck yourself. You want this knee to be over the ankle, or this ankle can be forward of the knee. The heel is on the floor. You want to be able to find your length here. So find your length. Good. Hands can be on blocks at any time. Good. Now we're going to come back. We're going to touch a half split in the hamstring and come back into that lunge. And we'll come back and we'll touch the hamstring and we'll come back into that lunge. Good. Now options here. You can stay down here. You can take a right hand to a blocker to the floor and open to the left. You can find your prayer twist here, okay? Or if you want a little bit more power and balance, tuck the back toe and lift up into that twist. Open your twist through the left shoulder, twisting for length. Now, look at that front foot again. Could you press into big toe and pinky toe mound, lifting those toes? We'll carefully unravel out of the twist. Hands are going to come to the floor. If the back knee was still grounded, we'll lift it here. Front foot's going to step back. You choose take or skip a flow. Remember, you don't have to flow like me. I just move and teach and demo in the way that's best for my body. So always honor your body. Good. From your down dog when you're ready, looking forward, bending the knees. Good. Pushing with the feet. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Pressing through the feet and the legs, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Letting the head and neck be free. Pressing through the feet and the legs, coming all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to do that all on the other side. So now the weight is going to shift into the left foot. Good. We're going to pick up the right foot. Nope, we just did that side. Never mind. We're going to put the weight into the right foot. We're going to pick up the left foot. So you can keep it low. You can take it a little bit higher, but not too high. Breathe. And then just like before, you can put that foot down first and then step the left leg back, or you can take that through a little bit of a step back. Stepping that foot back, hands can come to your blocks or to the floor, and then that knee can come down. Good. So again, watch where the knee is with respect to your ankle. Find your length. Good. Keep that front body zipped up. We're worthy of forgiveness. How about a forgiveness is a gift I give myself? Forgiveness is a gift I give myself. Good. And then again, good. We're going to take that into a little touch And then come back into the lunge. And then we'll come back and touch it. And come back into the lunge. Find your length and find your twist. Left hand onto the block or to the floor. You can always take the prayer twist here. You can stay grounded. Or you can tuck that back toe, lifting up that back knee. Good. Open through this right shoulder here. When you open through the right shoulder, your twists get deeper if it's appropriate. Good. And then once you're ready, carefully unravel from the twist. Planting the hands, back knee's going to come up if it's still grounded. Front foot's going to step back. Take or skip a flow. Noticing for a moment how you feel. And from the down dog, inhale, look forward, bend the knees, walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Letting the head and neck be free. Pressing through the feet and the legs, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, we'll bend and we'll bow. Head and neck release as well. Pressing through the feet and the legs. Engage those glutes when you come back up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Good, taking a moment. All right, so now we're gonna build up to a warrior 3 flow into warrior 2. And some of you are gonna want your blocks for this for sure. So I'm just gonna have them at the ready. You don't have to do blocks, they're just kind of there to help balance when we do this flow here. But we'll start back on the left foot. Good, now zipping up. Now find your balance like we've been working on here. So you can be a little bit, you can be a little bit more, you can be a little higher. Good, the knee can even come higher than the hip here as long as you're not hiked up. Good, now, once you're here, it doesn't matter, height doesn't matter. You can stay still or you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're still balancing. You can stay here or take a break, or you can take a little bit of a flow. Coming back, hands may or may not touch the block. And then we'll take that back up. Good. And then this time we're going to take it back. Hands to blocked or not. Find your warrior 3. The left hip, knee, and toes are pointing forward. Right hip, knee, and toes are pointing to the floor. It's okay if your back foot is only a couple inches off the floor. And then once you're ready, for me, I'm going to take my hands to my block. I'm going to reach my right leg back. Good. And I'm still using my blocks for stability here. With my right leg is back from the right hip, I'm going to rotate out into a warrior prep. Heel to heel to arch are a little bit wider with that right foot. Good. Lift up those left toes. Good. Get into all 4 points of the foot as you come back up. Good. Now from here, front hip's going to come back. Good. I'm going to open my chest to the side. Here we go. Warrior 2. Pressing through the outer edges of the back foot. Good. Front knee tracks for pinky toe. Breathing. Good. What about I forgive myself for the hurt I've caused others? Or I forgive myself for the hurt that I've caused. We've all done that. None of us are perfect. But we can forgive ourselves. They may not forgive you. You can't control that. But you can forgive yourself, move on with your own healing. And then from here, once you're ready, inhale, exhale. Good. We'll cartwheel that down. Good. Planting the hands, swivel up the back foot, front foot steps back, take or skip a flow. Once you've made it to your down dog again, reconnect with your good down dog form. Fingers are spread wide. You're rooting through the knuckles of the pinky, the pointer, and thumb. Shoulders are away from the ears. Then we're rotating the elbows towards the ceiling. Head and neck are free. Pressing with the big toe and pinky toe mounts. Inhale, look forward, bend the knees. Pushing with the feet and the legs. Walk, step, or hop your feet forward to meet your hands. Letting the head and neck be free. Pressing through the feet and the legs, lift and lengthen halfway. Exhale, bend and bow, releasing the head and the neck. Pressing through the feet and the legs, we'll rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to take that all to the other side. So just so that my back side is not to you, I'm just going to change sides on my mat here. Now your right leg is going to be your supporting leg this time. The right hip, knee, and toe are going to track forward. Good. Zipping up nice and tight. We're going to find that balance again. So from here, maybe you lift a little bit, maybe a little bit more. Maybe you're in a higher lift. Careful not to hike the hip. Good. And then again, no matter what your height is, if you want to do the kick, you can. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Again, you can take a break, or maybe we take a little bit of a flow. Hands may or may not touch your block. Coming back. Good. And then we'll take that back up. Slow and controlled with the breath. And slow and controlled, taking it to your warrior 3. Hands to the blocks or anywhere else. Right hip, knee, and toes are tracking forward. Left knee, hips, and toes are tracking towards the floor. It does not matter how high that left leg is. And for me, I'm going to take my hands to my blocks. I'm going to reach that left leg back. Good. Once I've stepped it back, I'm going to warrior prep. Good. And then from here, good. Lifting my toes, pressing into the big toe and pinky toe down, forcing me to get into the heel. I'm going to come back up, setting up for warrior 2. Front hip's going to come back hip's going to come forward. I'm going to open my torso to the side and reach. Now, I can forgive myself so that I can forgive others. I can forgive myself so I can forgive others. And you can still forgive somebody even if they're not sorry. But again, that doesn't mean that you forget what happened. It just means that you're moving on with your healing so that you can move forward. Inhale, exhale. Good, we'll take that down. Good. Swivel up the back foot. Front foot steps back. Take or skip a flow. And once you have made your way back to your down dog, good. We are done with the standing sequences. So we're going to drop the knees down here. We're going to take a child's pose. So knees can come together or as wide as the mat. You can take your arms long in front of you or hands back by the ankles. And notice how this one compares to the very first one that we did. Hopefully it feels a little bit better, a little bit more open, a little bit more easeful. Breathe and expand. And once you're ready, good. Hands can come closer to the shoulders, and we're going to come back up. Okay, so from here, because we're going to be on the knees for a little bit, I'm going to bring my blanket in from my knee cushion. And we're going to take this into dragon, which will then go into a half split and a pigeon from there. So from here, good. I'm on my knees. And I'm just going to kind of use my blocks a little bit as brakes. We're going to do this on the left side first. My left foot, I'm going to step forward. Okay. You want to make sure it's way forward. This is not a good step forward because then when you come into a lunge, this is what's going to happen. So you want to really step it forward, or you can pick it up and put it more forward. Good. And then once you're ready, good, go ahead and find that lunge similarly to what we did a few moments ago. Find your length. Now, both hands on or off blocks can be on the inside of that foot. Okay, I'm going to take mine to the middle section here. Good. If this is okay and you want to move on, maybe you take this leg out a little bit wider. Okay, from the hip, some of you might turn it out. Okay, And then some of you might choose to come onto the forearms, either on the blocks or on the floor. Okay. And then if you're here, you can choose to stay or maybe roll onto the edge of the foot. So find your length wherever you are, whether you're on your hands, your blocks, your forearms, whatever you're doing. Good. Protract, push away. Try not to hang in the shoulder. Breathe and expand. It's okay to rock it a little bit too. Sometimes I like to do that. And once ready, good. If you rolled onto the edge of the foot, that foot's going to come back down. If you took forearms, we're going to come back up to the hand. If you took the leg out wider, we'll bring that leg back in line with the hip. Now I'm going to use my blocks here. We're going to shift back into a half split. So I want this hip to stay over the knee. Most people are going to have to slide this leg and heel a little bit more forward here. Keeping a micro bend, we never want to practice like that. So keep it a little soft. And then find your length. Good. So this is going to be the modification once we get to split. If a full split is not for you today. So again, option for everyone. And then with this one, if your hamstring is more open and you would like to go a little deeper here, you can walk your hands or your blocks a little bit more forward. But again, you want to try to keep the length in the torso. So how about I accept my shortcomings and forgive myself? I accept my shortcomings and forgive myself. Remember, we all fall short. We all have shortcomings. Good. If you went deeper, we'll walk that back in. Good. And we'll come back in with that leg. So different things for different people. Not everybody can do the belly down pigeon, especially if you've got a back issue, a hip issue, a knee issue. So if that's you today, or if you're not sure, then I want you to come onto your back. You're going to take the right ankle over the left knee. This is exactly the same hip opener as belly down pigeon, but it's gentler on the knee, it's gentler on the hip, it's gentler on the back, but you're still getting into the same musculature. Okay. Those of you that are okay with it, and then you're going to take your left ankle towards the right side. Good. I'm going to really reach my right leg long behind me. You're going to make sure your hips are squared off. You can stay up. You can come to blocks. You can come all the way down. And you'll breathe. So be honest with yourself. If the way I'm doing pigeon right now is not good for your body, then you'll know that because it won't feel good in the back of the hip or the knee. Then please come out of here and come onto your back and take the figure 4. And then once you're ready, good. Well, carefully, if you're on your back, you want to get them off of your back and come back to all fours. Good. I'm going to come out of my pigeon. Come out of your pigeon the way you need to come out of your pigeon, and then take a little child's pose here. Any of your choice. And once you're ready, and we're going to come back up. We're going to do that all on the other side. So I'm just going to turn around this way now. Good. So I'm going to take the right foot forward. Remember, we want that foot to be way forward. So pick it up and put it up there if you can't get it there on your own. Good. I'm going to take my block and I'm going to find my lunge, that nice low lunge. Good. And then once I'm here, both hands on or off the blocks are going to come onto the inside of the foot. You can stay here. You can take the right leg out a little bit wider. From the hip, you can turn it out towards the side. You can take forearms to the floor or to the block. You can roll onto the edge of that right foot. Breathe and expand. When you're ready, good. If you went onto the edge of the foot, we're going to take that foot down. If you went onto the forearms, we're going to come back up. If you took the leg wider, we're going to bring it back in. Good. And with or without your block, good. We're going to come up and we're going to find that half split. So the hip's going to stay over the knee. This leg may need to slide more forward, keeping this knee soft. This might be where you stay. Or if you've got more depth in that hamstring, you can walk your hands or blocks more forward, keeping a long torso. Breathe and expand. Especially as we go into the next one, just kind of be aware of any pain, the difference between a pain and a stretch. Stretchy pain never goes past a 5 or a 6 on the pain scale. And then from here, it will come out of there. Good. And then I'm going to bring this foot back in. So again, come onto your back, do the figure 4 if that's what you need to do, or you can find a belly down pigeon. So belly down pigeon, good. You're going to take the right ankle towards the left side. I'm going to reach that right leg or left leg back. I'm making sure my hips are squared. Okay. And breathing. And then based on where you went with that, whether you're on your back or you took belly down pigeon, and the way that's best for you, find yourself coming out and finding a child's pose. And then once you're ready, good, we'll come back up. We're going to prepare for split. So different things for different people. Again, if you know that a full split's not for you, or you don't want to go really deep for whatever reason, come back and do that half split. Maybe with your blocks here, maybe without. You can come right here. That's still a split, even though it's a half split. That's a nice modification when you can't do a full. There are days when that is the one that I pick. But then from here, good. We're going to start by taking the left leg out forward. So I'm going to kind of use my blocks as brakes here. And then I'm just going to slide this out. Good. So you can see I'm almost to the floor, but not quite. I'm not going to force myself down here because that's a horrible injury that you don't want that will mess you up for most of the rest of your life. So what you could do is you can put props underneath here to hold yourself there. So there's one block. That's okay, but I think I'm going to feel a little bit better if I have 2 under there. So I'm going to take care of myself and have 2 blocks under here. How you need to put the blocks is going to depend on your own body. Good. And so now I can find my split. I'm just being right here. Some of you might be able to come right into a full split. That's okay too. Good. Zipping up that front body. Good. And then once you're ready, good. You're going to come out of your split. And the way that you need to come out, everybody does them a little different. So everybody needs to follow your own body's needs on how you come out of there. Good. And then as you come back up, just do a little rotation here. Good. And then we're going to take that all to the other side. So, because sometimes I need break, good. The right leg's going to come forward, come here. Good. in there. So again, I'm close, but not quite. I'm going to stick a block under here so that I can feel a little bit better. Good. I only need one block on this side. Good. So just kind of find yours where you need to find it. You might be completely different on one side than the other. So I'm not today, but there have been times, and it's always when I'm teaching, when I come into a split. And I've only been able to do that since probably right before COVID, so maybe 2020, 2019. So it took years to be able to get there, and it's still not something that I can do every day or all of the time. So you just, do what you can and don't worry about the rest. And then once you're ready, get in the way that's best for your body. It will come out of that split. Good. And then once you're here, good, just kind of go side to side. And once you're ready, good. We will go ahead and come onto our back. Come onto our back. I'm going to refold this because I'm going to use this as a neck pillow. Good. And you'll want your strap here. So as we come down, good. Taking a moment to take the feet about as wide as the mat. Good. And just let the knees go side to side. Do this nice and slow. Nice and slow. Those muscles all around that hip just worked really hard. You want to go nice and slow. Good. Then once you're ready, good, we'll bring those feet and legs back in. So we'll grab that strap. Good. I'm going to stick the right foot into that strap. Have a low grip on your strap. Your other leg can be bent or long here. Good. Really zip up through the abs, and we'll take some circles here. And maybe remembering that self-compassion encourages learning and growth. So to say that to yourself, self-compassion encourages me to learn and grow. Let's reverse. Self-compassion encourages me to learn and grow. Good. And then once you're ready, good, we'll come up. Now the hamstring has had a lot of stretches today. We're not going to go back in there. So take both pieces of the strap into the right hands. You can have a higher grip here to keep the upper body on the floor. Your other leg can be bent or long. Zip up through that front body. Right leg's going to come out to the right. Wiggle around here. Find your best spot. Good. Left hip, left shoulder on the floor. Good. Just kind of release from the hip. Your body settle in. And then we'll come back up. Good. And we'll switch out the hands. The other leg will come longer here. Good. So to start, just take a 45-degree angle, move it forward and back, find your best spot here. And then from here, choose to stay where you are or take it over. You're going to keep the foot and the hip in the same height. We're not going to let the foot come to the floor. Right shoulder is going to be on the floor as you look to the right. Now you're in full spinal twist. Maybe self-criticism and self-punishment do not help me learn to be my best self. Self-criticism and self-punishment do not help me learn to be my best self. And we'll come back to center. Good. And then we'll switch this out. Good. So a lower grip to start, a bent knee or a long leg. Belly button is in. Good. I'm going to take those circles. And then reversing the circles. Good, and then coming up. Good. Both pieces of the strap are going to come into the left hand. You can have a higher grip. This knee can be bent or extended long, you choose. We'll take that leg out to the left, kind of wiggle around to find your best spot. Your right hip and your right shoulder on the floor. So if they're popping up or want to do something like this, they're going too far out to the left. And we'll come back up. Good. We're going to switch out the hands. Good. So from here, we're just going to come over 45-ish degrees, move forward and back, find your optimal spot, and then take that leg over, keeping the foot and the hip at the same height. Left shoulder is on the floor as you look to the left. Full spinal twist. And then we'll come back up. Good. Removing that foot from the strap. Grab your knees from behind, both of them. Bring them into the chest. Kind of grab one just like this. So do the chest or the shoulders. Give them a tug. Get a nice low back stretch in here. And maybe just moving the ankles and the feet in one direction and the other. And paddle through. And then once you're ready, good. Carefully release the feet. Good. And we'll go into a Shavasana from here. So everything can come long and flop open. You can bring in any props you want. If you like that during your Shavasana, you can come into constructive rest, be on your side, your belly, be where you can be comfortable and non-fidgety for a few moments. And the last thing I'm going to give you to ponder here is today I start fresh. Today I start fresh. We can forgive ourselves, forgive others, move on. Today I start fresh. Taking some deep breaths here. Choose stillness or gently move head and neck from side to side. Choose stillness or invite movement of fingers to toes. Choosing stillness, bringing knees into the chest. You can leave the upper body lowered or maybe lifting it up for a full body hug. And choosing stillness. Or maybe extending your arms and legs long, finding a nice full body stretch here. Reaching from fingertips to the toes. Pointing and flexing through the feet. bending and stretching through the hands, twirling wrists and ankles in one direction, and then in the other. And once we're ready, we'll bend in both knees. We'll go over to the right or left side, taking all the time that we need here. And when we're ready, we'll press ourselves up to a comfortable seat. We started our practice. Taking a moment to notice how we feel, hopefully a little bit better than when we started. Palms turning up, coming all the way up, touching the palms together. As we bring the hands down, we'll stop the thumbs to the forehead for good and true thoughts, to the lips for good and kind words, and to the heart for open and loving hearts. Knowing no effort on this mat is ever wasted, no gain is ever reversed. May you be safe, may you stay well, may you learn to practice self-forgiveness. Namaste.